Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and Nintendo, they did it. They released the Switch 2, and I have to say there are a lot of cool features, some that I was expecting, some I wasn't expecting. Now, some of you are going to find that price controversial. Yeah, these games are retailing for $80, and that's just the digital one. Metal Jesus here.
We're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, I would say like during the Direct and like immediately afterwards, I think the reception was overwhelmingly positive. But then we were like, hey, they didn't mention anything about price. So the system is $450 without a game.
Base system.
$500 with Mario Kart World. And I think most people were okay with that. You know, it's like,
I feel okay about it. Some people are pissed. There was a guy in our Discord who was like, he felt that it was way too. People, I think, were looking for 400.
But I think it was kind of leaked that it would be between 400 and 500. So people were kind of like, okay, 450, sure. But then when they revealed the game prices, which for digital Mario Kart World was 80, and then for physical it's 90. And I think that was the thing that gave it the most controversy, and kind of like it was so funny because everyone was so like overwhelmingly like glowing, besides like Jason, but he's always like that.
He didn't like it.
Well, he didn't like the Direct. Like, I don't know, he always has his angle.
His angle is he's either like viciously defensive of something, or can't be made happy. Like, what the fuck is with his angles?
If you watched the Treehouse stream the next day, where they were like demoing the games, where they have like people on a couch being like, "Oh, this is how Donkey Kong moves," but in the chat on the side, it was like, "Drop the price, drop the price, drop the price."
They will not be dropping the price. So one thought is, so it was $300 in 2017. Games have remained $60 for a very long time. Inflation is out of fucking control. I think it was to be expected that something that has high demand. One thing that would make it go down better for people probably is if like Sony or Xbox had done it first. Like, because if a new Xbox or a new PlayStation released next year, it'd be over $1,000.
Yeah, I think because Nintendo for so long was like, oh, 60. And then Tears of the Kingdom was the first one where they're like 70, and people were like, okay, Tears of the Kingdom's huge, $70 for like a really well-made AAA game. Okay. And I think when they bumped it up another 10, people are like, whoa. And also, they don't want Nintendo setting that standard for the industry. So I think people are violently opposed to that as a standard.
I'm more willing to spend a little bit more money on the console and then ensure affordable games, because I like to buy a lot of games. But maybe their logic is, if you go back 20, 30 years ago, every game was $50 to $60. Like, there was no kind of like bargain, like indie market. There was no like, this is just a small one, this is a big one. Movies don't do that. Like, when you go to the theater, it's, if a movie was made for $10 million, if it was made for $300 million,
the ticket's the same.
The ticket is the same price.
If you go to a movie, you bring you bring Glow and you bring Nina, you buy some snacks. It's like, that's over $100 right there.
We're going to the Minecraft movie tomorrow, and Nina showed me the checkout, and I think it was like almost $50 just for the tickets. And I was like, that'll be $187, please.
Yeah, for 2 hours of something you won't really enjoy.
For Jack fucking Black and Jason Momoa. But anyway, our baseline had been like $60 is those big games, the biggest games of all. And you can get lots of $3 to $5. I have lots of $3 to $5 games on my Switch. I have to tell you, EJ, like, even though I saw a lot of cool things, it felt like they were meeting my expectations of what a new iteration could possibly be over and over and over again. Like, they kind of were like reading the audience's mind. I feel like Nintendo's gotten better with this in the last, like, maybe, probably since the Switch's launch. I feel like they've been really in tune with their audience in a way that they used to be accused of not being. But the price per game, I'm like, ooh, because I know that sales will happen.
That's the other thing, is Nintendo games historically don't go on sale, or very rarely go on sale. So I think that also, it's like there's a combination of factors. Yeah, they don't want Nintendo setting the price at $80 for the industry. They know Nintendo games rarely go on sale, so it pisses them off that every like first party huge game is going to be $80 to $90, depending on what you want to spend.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of fucking money.
And then on top of that, they have this weird concept of like the key carts. You hear about that thing where it's like some of the carts don't even have games on them. It's just a key to unlock a digital game.
Why?
It's so you can have like a box, I guess. And also you could like have somebody borrow that key card. So that like it's so if like you have a friend and you were like, oh, I want you to borrow.
Look, if you're gonna do this, just fuck off and do all digital.
This doesn't affect me much because I've been all digital since the 3DS. Like it's not my thing.
But so we can start talking about Mario Kart World. I think that they're betting on the fact that a game like that, right? So look, these wizards over at Nintendo, they're looking at purchasing statistics. And so I think they're like, wow, we took a Wii U game and we added DLC to it for like 10 years and people just kept buying it. They're buying it right this moment for some reason. New people who have never bought Mario Kart Deluxe are buying it right now. And so I think they were like, we're going to do that again, man. And we're going to sell it for 80 to 90 bucks because for a lot of people, this may be their only game or, one of their only games, like a core game. It's going to keep them busy for a long, long time. And yeah, through Nintendo Online, we're going to keep releasing DLC for it. Like this is like a 10-year game, for some people.
Yeah. And it's like, it seems pretty cool. It's got like, it's like almost open world, I would say in some ways. Cause like the tracks connect over like a whole continent of.
I would be shocked if there's not an adventure mode. I bet you anything there's a single player campaign or maybe even an online, maybe even that same campaign could be online. But
such a missed opportunity. It would be
of course they are going to do that, and not only are they going to do it, but then DLC will come out that will add new ones.
Yeah, you would hope. I think my kids are going to really like this game because there's a mode where you can just freely drive over the whole world.
I was going to say the same. I was like, anything non-competitive for Gloria, she's all over it.
They like the races. They played a little bit of Mario Kart 8 and they get too stressed out about the races. So I think if they just like could fuck around on this whole continent and just like, I don't know, like I'm on a jet ski on Miyoshi, it's awesome. Like I think that more than anything will be their game. It's
gonna be a big hit. Yeah. Gloria likes to play Smash Brothers Ultimate just to like pretend that she's like she wants to do like an imaginary thing or whatever. We went to a birthday party recently and there were like 35 kids there, and with a group of 35 the likelihood that somebody is going to be autistic is pretty high. And there was one young man. It's really funny. He was dying to play some Nintendo and said there was a bouncy castle and he was trying to get the girl whose birthday it was. He was like, come on, Bella, let's just go inside and play some Nintendo. He was trying to do it in a way that would like calm her down or something. I don't know, one of her friends started shouting. She's like, blah, 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 just being crazy. And he was like, Nori, what do you want to tell Bella? He was just trying so hard.
We got to get to the Nintendo conversation.
Trying so hard. And then it was him and 3 gals lined up. And damn it, EJ, have you ever been in a situation where like there's like 4 children, they all want to play Nintendo, there's not proper controllers for it, all they've got is 1 Joy-Con each. You can't be doing 1 Joy-Con, okay?
The Joy-Con is drifting like crazy.
He insisted that they play Smash. They all went, no, we want to play Mario Kart. He was like, oh, I want to play Smash, I finally got you in this room. It was dedicated to it. And I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out, have you ever been at the character select screen? Everybody presses A to select the character, and then I guess player 1 presses start, and then the game can play.
Yeah.
Well, a lot can happen in that sequence of events. And if everybody has a drifting Joy-Con, the likelihood that somebody starts
consciousness.
Yeah, like somebody it unselects one character and then they're changing the costume of their character and they didn't mean to change it. No, wait, I want to be P, and then they get new ideas. I actually like sat back like into a soft sofa and I was like, I don't know. Anyway, I have one critique of Mario Kart World. Kind of one major critique actually. I don't like the prefab fucking, I don't know, this like very vanilla art style that we've seen for years and years. This kind of fake Mario Kart, I feel like.
Yeah, it feels bland. It doesn't like, I watched the footage and I'm like, this is just Mario Kart 8 again. Like,
Are
basically.
you sure this couldn't come out on the regular old Nintendo Switch?
Oh, I'm sure it could. It's like, I mean, there's more racers. There's like 20 racers.
You sell me a new hardware for this? Come on. But the game looks cool. And it's kind of, I've always thought, like many people, I've always thought that Diddy Kong Racing did like a lot of innovation with kart racing, with the adventure mode and all the various, the story mode and stuff that they did. What else have they? There's like a battle mode that's like baked into the single player, and so there's all kinds of fun shit.
Yeah, I mean, looks fun. The Direct did confirm like a lot of things that we thought, like the mouse, that mouse that you're so excited about, Frankie. And they did show off like real time strategy games that you could do with it. It showed like Metroid Prime 4 is going to use it as like an alternate play style. So to me, it's like if you're gonna play on a PC, you play on a PC. I don't understand why you would do this on a system, but
well, I can come up with one reason, okay? Because I agree with you. I'm watching this whole Direct through much like you, through the lens of my daughter. I'm like, wait, this is really for, I've got an Odin too. Okay. I can play WWF No Mercy anytime I want, any way I want. and I'm set for life. So I'm looking through her eyes, and she is a big Minecraft player. Like this past year, she's become like gotten all about Minecraft. And she plays on the iPad, or sorry, not the iPad, the Switch. And I was like, oh, you don't use the touchscreen at all. Like, it really doesn't integrate the touchscreen very much. I thought it would for sure, because of the context, the contextual menus and whatnot. And she went to John's house once for a box max shoot, and she saw him like on the PC. And I think she was a little bit, he was like, oh yeah, like the way you're doing it is super inefficient. I've got a mouse, I've got this big monitor.
That is actually such a good idea. Like, you're right. I think that might have been what Nintendo was thinking. It's like, they probably saw the numbers of everybody on Switch that has a Minecraft, and they were like, we should put a mouse in this thing.
Yeah. Like, what, why not just get her a desktop PC? It's like, because that's weird for her. Like, it's not super compatible with her life. She could be playing it on iPad, I suppose, but she's been a Switch girl with it. And the same goes for game chat. The C button that does the game chat. It's like, it's more old technology, but if they do have a way to do it safely, and it's somewhat high tech with the noise cancellation. Granted, she plays Roblox on her iPad with her friend, and they actually just FaceTime right there on the iPad.
Okay.
It's not that great. I feel like, just having like an Apple device like puts you ahead of Nintendo in a lot of ways. But that reminds me of you got to put the price in a little bit more perspective too, where it's like an iPhone, dude. An iPhone is like $1,100. I want to say.
Yeah.
And, so it is half of, I know it's expensive. I'm not here to tell you it's not expensive. I just don't mind. I don't mind the console price nearly as much as the game. The games, I'm like, ew, I'm not going to buy very many games then, probably.
I did. It was funny. People were like, yeah, they're introducing game chat like it hasn't been around forever. And since consoles have had it since 2007 and stuff like that.
How do you innovate after a while? And I think it's like you turn off old shit and you turn it back on later, and, you're like, here's a mouse and game chat.
Game chat? You can talk on video games. Who knew?
Or that DS thing where you can link up and play
downloaded games. Yeah.
So funny that that came up, because just the other day she was like, man, I would really love it, like, if you could be on your own Switch and be logged into my Minecraft server and walking around like, that would be so much fun for me. I was like, we can do split screen like on the TV. She's like, I don't want that. I was like, well, now we can, with the power of the Switch 2. We can buy two $450 devices together.
And, Nintendo is a generous god in some ways, because if you have their NSO expansion pack, the upgrades to some of these games are going to be free. Like, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Kirby has like a whole new campaign added to it. Kirby and the Forgotten Land will have a new
good game.
A new level or mode or something.
Are they? Did they announce any hikes to the NSO subscription fee?
They did not.
That's good.
And nobody's been complaining about it, so I don't think they have. But
I mean, $50 annually for.
That's a good deal.
You're going to get GameCube now too? Like full-blown fucking GameCube games for and all those N64 games and all the NES, SNES.
For the bare bones PlayStation Online, it's $10 a month. So that's bare bones. Yeah, GameCube is being added, which I've lost my mind. People were like, "Oh, but it's only 3 games." Like, yeah, but they'll add more every month.
I'm a little bit like those guys who are like, "Yeah, I could get a Steam Deck for the same price." I'm like, I have an Odin too, and I'm kind of set on GameCube, but and I prefer it because then I don't have to do any kind of online checking in. I'll say this: I would be a little more excited about the GameCube thing, like F-Zero. What is it? F-Zero
GX.
GX. I'd be like that one leapt out at me. Where I was like, there's no fucking reason you shouldn't be widescreening this. It's so easy. Like you do it on like any emulator, you widescreen that shit. That like just widescreen it. What is that? 2 premium? Is that $60 to widescreen it?
They'll be infringing. They'll be infringing on Dolphin's patent. It's like Dolphin. It's like Dolphin. You get the premium experience.
Well, because they were like, it'll be in a higher resolution than when originally released. I'm like, all right, just widescreen it, bitch. You'll make people so happy, and it's so easy.
Yeah, if you can do it with just like the bare bone mods, you'd think they could do it.
Imagine play it in modern mode or play it in classic mode, just the way you remember. Like you could imagine, and some Japanese guys dubbed over telling you that. Do you remember being in 2001, downing a Red Bull and playing GameCube with your friends?
It is funny. Yeah, they have these like these dorky Japanese people, and they're being voiced over by dorky like American people. I'm
kind of surprised that why not get whether it's a Japanese person or an American person, why not get people who are a little more TV ready? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like one of them had like a really like ill-fitting suit, like he like got shrunk or something. It's like the kid at the end of Big who was Tom Hanks, and he has like the clothes are like hanging off him.
Or that Talking Heads thing. The days go by. Nintendo Switch Online. So what else was there?
Most Nintendo Switch games are compatible, and it was what I guessed, where things like Labo and like some other things that use that IR sensor aren't supported, but most games are going to work. So if you have a huge library of Switch games, it's going to work.
And weren't they like, if you have an SD card filled with games from Nintendo Switch, just flop it over and transfer and you're good?
So I think you might have to transfer through the NSO service. I don't know how long it's going to take, but you can do it.
In effect, you can retire your Switch and completely move over to a Switch 2 and not feel like you got to juggle 2. To me, that's very appealing. Now, granted, I'll probably never throw out my Switch or anything like that, but I just think it's cool to be able to upgrade in a way that doesn't like clutter the TV media area.
And the screen does look nice. Like people are saying, like the ones who have actually seen it in hands-on, it looks very nice. It's like 120 hertz screen, so it supports high frame rates, which I think Metroid will.
People care about them frame rates, huh?
Yeah, people care, but I mean, the ROG Ally has a 120 hertz screen. It looks really nice. So I don't know. It's a nice screen. So. People are like, oh, I wish it was OLED. And I've had OLED screens. I've had LCD screens. I think with that size, I don't think it matters much, but that's just me.
Yeah. I thought Donkey Kong Bonanza, I thought looked very interesting. It looks like they're trying to solve the kind of like, I know Donkey Kong 64 has its fans, but it looks like they're trying to split the baby a little bit where they're like, you're going to get some like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze type gameplay here. And you're also going to get, platformer, 3D platformer. It looks, and the art style was kind of new. I actually thought that was probably the most exciting announcement. And I'm not a huge Donkey Kong fan. I wasn't waiting the whole Nintendo Switch to look for Donkey Kong. I don't care about him really, but
no,
I thought this was cool.
I thought it was cool, and it looks like, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but it looks like it was made by the same team who did Mario Odyssey,
right?
And it has like that destructible like landscape, so Donkey Kong can like dig into the ground and dig into mountains and find secrets. I showed my sons a few of these trailers, and they thought that one looked the most fun. So, and it does look fun.
Makes sense.
It's gonna be good. I don't know. Donkey Kong doesn't sell as well as Mario. Like, I just don't think it will.
Yeah.
Just because he's not as appealing. I don't know.
You got to figure out a way to incorporate Mario into his games, and then maybe you could, like the Marvel model of like they have to build off of each other. You have to, get Luigi, like make a game called like Luigi and Donkey Kong. People fucking buy it because it's weird.
Yeah.
What about, is this a new dock I see? I'm a little bummed about this. Can I not use my old docks? Because I bought like 5 of them for the whole house.
That dock has a fan in it, so when it's playing, it's cooling it down. So
Does this thing need a fan?
Yeah, it needs a fan because it's got big 4K power or whatever. Well, it's 4K compatible, but I'm guessing most games won't be 4K. Did you like Drag and Drive or whatever Drag and Drive?
I don't think I saw that.
It was the wheelchair game. Did you
wheelchair game?
It's like this like wheelchair. It looks like kind of like a Rocket League type thing, but you're like these wheelchair races. And you use the two mice at the same time to turn the wheels.
Oh, I see it. Oh, wow. And it's like, it looks kind of fun, actually.
I think it might be fun, but it was like people were like, what the hell is this?
But it's very handy accessible, I see.
Hey! 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 Now that's my game!
I have to admit, I've never played Rocket League before, and every time I see gameplay of it, I'm like, that looks fun. I should play that.
Oh, it's one of the most popular games. They announced a new Kirby Air Riders, which is interesting. And Sakurai, who does Smash Brothers, is returning as the director. So.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah. It looks like maybe they'll start to. I see some Tony Hawk shit in here. Looks like maybe they'll start to kind of embrace more of this kind of GameCube era.
Things that most excited me was, of course, Elden Ring is being ported to the.
Oh, that's fun.
Switch
you can play it portably, EJ. Well, do you do that already through your ROG?
Yeah, but it doesn't run that great. So it would be good to have a like something that's built for the actual system.
Are you gonna play that whole fucking game all over again?
Of course I will, Frankie. Of course I will. God damn it!
From the top.
And then they announced a new FromSoft game that's the creators of Elden Ring, Dusk Bloods, which will be a kind of a FromSoft game that's exclusive to Nintendo. So Dusk Bloods. It looks a lot like Bloodborne, which was a Sony exclusive, which made people joke like, if it has blood in the name, it's exclusive to somebody.
I wonder if they'll fix the store. People complain about the store being a little too like unnavigable, or it's like uncategorized largely. It's like a big pile of, and it's slow too. But I do I have to admit, I find myself in the digital store all the time, and it was a fuck of an improvement over Wii U. You remember trying to buy shit on the Wii U store?
Oh, even the 3DS. I remember trying to buy something, and there's like all these like random categories, and they never made sense. And yeah, so I think the Switch store, at least the search function works if I need to find something.
Yeah, but this might, like I know the PS5 sold very well. But you know how a lot of game, like to this day, like everything comes out for the PS4 as well. Like it's like perpetually backwards compatible. Do you think that's going to happen with the Switch?
I think for this Switch 2, yeah, I think this is basically as powerful as a PlayStation 4. And I think most people are like, this is good enough graphics. Like, like you can make a game, it runs smoothly, it looks nice, there's no like jagged edges. Or very few, and so you're like, oh, this looks okay.
I think all people ask for is higher resolution and higher frame rate. Like, so that, requires more CPU.
And I don't think people really care if something's very lifelike. So, like, I don't think they need like, oh, every leaf in the tree is rendered. I don't think anybody cares.
I mean, there's a time and a place. If your game's style is meant to be like extremely immersive. Yeah. But generally the first party Nintendos are not like that. All I ask for, I want them to like take what they started with Mario Wonder and like go further. Like how Mario Wonder's breaking the mold a bit. Like I want them to, I mean, I know it's a big risk with these franchises, but I actually think for me, Donkey Kong Bonanza is kind of down that path a little bit.
Yeah, I think it is. It's taking a risk with Donkey Kong. It's the easy thing would be to launch with a Mario game, and so it's kind of an interesting to pivot to Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
it's interesting to go back to that and do something innovative with that destruction, the land destruction mechanic.
But Mario Odyssey wasn't even a launch title, right? It came out like
a few months later. It was
like 6 months later, maybe. Yeah. Well, yeah, because it was March 2017. Yeah. And I remember playing Mario Odyssey in like the fall.
Yeah, I think I had played it around my birthday, so
fun game.
It would have been.
But I hope, I bet you that for the Switch 2, there's going to be, because it's now been quite, we're gonna get on 9 years without a new 3D Mario. I bet you they're working on something big for that.
I think they will. And and I back to your question about graphics, like they added upscaling with this too, and there's they're doing all sorts of like frame blending techniques. So I think this will have legs. Like it'll look good for a long time. And also, I already got myself a SanDisk micro SD Express.
Oh, you're ready.
Card.
You're fucking.
I'm ready.
You're rolling out the red carpet.
Well, they sold out. They sold out after I bought this. I looked back because I was like, oh, maybe I should get a bigger size because I only got a 256. This console comes with an internal 256, and then these things are more expensive than regular SD cards, and they have obviously higher transfer speeds. And I was like, oh, do I want to get a higher one? And then they were like already sold out. So people must have had the same idea as me to get one before they get sold out.
So I have a decision to make, don't I? Like, am I buying one of these right away? Yeah, I think so. Even if it was just Mario Kart, because I don't remember the last time it's coming out for the holidays or summer or like what's going on?
It's coming out in June, and they actually have a very interesting way to stop scalpers. Nintendo's plan to challenge Switch 2 scalpers, it's limiting its own pre-orders to Switch 1 owners that have an active Switch Online membership and have spent a certain amount of time playing purchased paid Nintendo Switch games, prioritizing those with more play times.
That's very smart. You see how helpful it is to share all of your personal data with the company?
Yeah.
No, but that's actually like the cleverest idea for something like it. Prices aside, it does seem like Nintendo is making just good moves. They're just in it. They've been in a really good groove since they launched that Switch.
Yeah, I think so. I think they just, everything that there's so many good decisions with the Switch 2. That's what makes the price thing of the game so disappointing. Cause because people are going to be like, oh, but the games, if on this clip, they'll even be like, oh, but the games, you guys are being too positive. But like there's just like a whole series of good ideas and good decisions, and that one the fucking games are too expensive. It makes you really wish they didn't do that, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's. we were on Discord last week, and one of our members, Jonas, was saying that it's been tough financially for him, and so it was year of the backlog, and I guess this is a trend. It's one of these online trends. Where it's like, hey, I got tons of games that I've never played or I haven't played through. Like I'll, instead of buying video games this year, I'll work through those. And I was like, I really like that. That's, I worry a little that a lot of young people that haven't really like created a nest egg are like going to run out and buy this fucking thing. And it's like, dude, they're going to release all the games for Switch 1. Just like, you can hang on for, I know some of them are exclusive and you've got serious FOMO burning in your pocket, but just, I don't know. Leave it, like, let the people who have a little extra cash just, get it first and save up. I don't know.
Yeah, go through your Steam back catalog. You probably got a bunch of games on sale one year. Just play those. You can hang out.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Is there anything else to say about Nintendo?
There's just, random games, Hyrule Warriors. I don't care. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, they're doing Hyrule Warriors again. I bought that for Wii U, the first one, and I thought it was boring as fuck.
Yeah, I don't like those games. Those Dynasty Warriors.
Just smashing buttons, and it was kind of entertaining for like probably 3 minutes. And I was like, okay. It gets repetitive. And I played as like who is it? Who's like the big buff chick that's like Princess Zelda's
Impa?
Impa, yeah. I was playing as her buff ass. She's like the nanny from Righteous Gemstones.
That's a good pull.
That kraut. I don't like the way she looks at me.
I hate that nanny. Fucking kraut.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.